Question number 5. Minus 3 is less than 3. Implies 3 minus 3. This becomes negative. So 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. Greater than 0. That is 3 minus 3 is greater than 0. Plus 3 is greater than minus 3. So it is true. Understand this clearly? Then question number 6. Minus 7 greater than 4. Do you can solve this? Now see 4 minus 7 equal to what? 4 plus 7 equal to what? 11. It is greater than 0. Understand? It is greater than 0. Therefore, 4 minus 7 is greater than 0. Implies 4 is greater than minus 7. So this is false. Minus 7 greater than 4 is false. Please students, you also try yourself. Then what is number 7 number? Question number 7, what is given? Pi is greater than 0. Pi is greater than 0. Now see 0 minus pi implies 0 minus pi is less than 0. Sorry, 0 minus pi is equal to minus pi. Is equal to minus pi. Minus pi is less than 0. Therefore, 0 minus pi is less than 0. Implies 0 is less than pi. That is, pi is greater than 0 is 2. Yes. And minus pi is less than minus 4. Which number? Minus pi is less than minus 4. Implies minus pi minus 4 equal to minus pi plus 4 equal what? It is positive or negative? Do you know the value of pi? The value of pi is what? Value of pi is 3.1416. Do you know the value of pi? The value of pi is 1416. Okay. Or you can remember like this. May I have a number? May means how many letters use? 3. So value of pi is 3.1416. Or you can remember like this. May I have a large container of coffee. And this is also another process to remember the value of pi. That means may I. May means how many letters? 3. So 3. May, comma. So full stop means point. Decimal point. I means 1. Have 4. Like this. This is the process. And when you become greater, you can find different processes. And from you, we can learn. So, since it is minus 3 point something, it is 4. So, when you subtract this from this becomes greater than, okay, positive, so greater than 0. That means this minus pi minus 4 is greater than 0. Implies minus pi greater than minus 4. So it is false. Therefore, minus pi is less than minus 4 is false. This is. Then see question number, how many questions here? 11. Question number 9. 0 is greater than minus pi. It is false. Can 0 greater? Only small. 0 is greater than negative numbers. Okay. 6. my number 0 is greater than negative 9. Implies 0 minus minus 9 is equal to what is this? Becomes positive 9. So you can write 9. 9 is greater than 0. That is 0 minus minus 9 is greater than 0. Implies 0 is greater than minus 9. So it is true. So our given question is true. Then what is the 10 number? 10 number is root 3 plus root 2 greater than root 7 plus root 5. How we can prove this? Students, do you know the value of root 3? Do you know the value? If you don't know, there is nothing to think, because see here, 3, the value of 3 is always less than the value of 7. So the square root of 3 is always smaller than the root of 7. Again, square root of 2 is always less than the value of square root of 5. So what happens? See. Question number 10. Root 3 plus root 2. What given? Greater than root 7 plus root of 5. See here, solution. We know that root 3 is less than what? Root 7. Okay. Root 3 is always the value of root 3 is less than root 7. This is 1. And value of root 2 is less than value of root 5. Now, let this do. Like this, left side. 1 plus 2 plus 7 plus root 5. So our given statement is what? Given it is better. So given statement is then see question number 11. Minus root 7 is less than 3 minus root 6. It is. If we bring this to the left, then what becomes negative? 9 minus root 7 minus 10 minus this is root 6 equal 9 minus root 7 minus 10. This becomes plus 6. Then what is the result? The result is minus 1 minus root 7 plus root 6. So what happens here? This will be what? It is positive. Is greater than 0. Therefore, minus root 7 is greater than, which is false. So it will be false. Let this be greater than 0. Therefore, 9 minus 7 less than minus 6 is false. This. Do you understand? When this becomes a, see here, let this be greater than 0. Then what we find? We take this one side and we bring this to the right side. Then what becomes? 1 minus something. When you subtract, what happens? Something from 1. Then the result is, what happens? If it will be also negative, okay? Then it must be what? This must be smaller than this, value of this. So, this must be what? This must be less than this side. So, it is false. Okay. So, our given statement is false. Then, 12 number. 3 is less than equal. If a given number must be less than equal to itself, no. Plus 3 minus 3 equal to 0, which is not less than, okay, this must equal 0. So it is equal. That means 3 is equal to 3. 3 is not less than to 3. It is false. This is one number finished. Then question number B. From B, what? If A is not equal to 0, then A square is greater than 0. In the question number B, if A is not equal to 0, then A square is greater than 0. If A is not equal to 0, A is greater than 0, or A is what? Less than 0. Okay? Now if A is greater than 0, if we multiply both sides by A into A, what happens? 0 into A is equal to 0. That means A square is greater than 0. Or, and if A is less than 0, that means it is negative. Okay. And if we multiply this by the negative number, then becomes what? Greater. That means A into A is greater than 0. Plus A square greater than 0. Suppose this is 1, this is 2. From 1 and 2, what we get? A square greater than 0. That means from 1 and 2, A square greater than 0. So it is true. Then what is the question number B? If A is less than B, if A is less than B, then A square minus A square is less than B square. 2 number. A is less than B. Okay. A is less than B implies A minus B is less than 0. When this goes here, becomes negative. We multiply both sides by A plus B. A plus B into A minus B is less than 0 into A plus B. What, right? Multiplying both sides by A plus B. Okay. This is our formula. A plus B into A minus B equal to what? What is the identity? A square minus B square. a square minus b square is less than 0 implies when this goes to right side, this becomes positive. Therefore, a square less than b square. And so it is true. Do you guys understand? Do you understand? If you understand, you like my class? Okay. Then what is the question number 3? If a square less than b square, then it may be a less than b. If a square less than b square, then a may be less than b. See here, a square less than b square, okay, implies a square minus b square less than 0. When this comes to left side, this becomes negative. A square minus b square is equal to what? A plus b into a minus b. From this we can say a minus b. Suppose their product is less than 0. That means this may be negative or this may be negative. Okay, negatives are always less than 0. This may be, suppose a minus b is less than 0. That means suppose a minus b is negative. Let a minus b is less than 0. Implies a is less than b. So a may be less than 0. So it is also true. Students, when you see questions, you think so hard, but the questions are so easy. Easy or not? Easy. Okay. Then see number 4. And you also try hard for the better. If you don't practice regularly, you cannot. 0 is less than a and a is less than b. Here what is? Here what is given? 0 is less than a and a is less than b. See here, a is less than, what we need to prove? A square is less than a into b. It is a is less than b. If we multiply both sides by a, then does not change. If we multiply both sides by negative, then it will, the sign is change. If you multiply both by a positive number, then it is does not change. Okay. So we multiply both by a into b. Multiply both by a. What is condition given? A is greater than 0. So this sign doesn't change. Okay. You must see the clue. Okay. If it is less than, then the sign will be change. Here what given? Condition is given positive, so it does not change. Implies a square is less than ab. We have to prove. We need to prove this. Okay, it is also true. When you practice this regularly, your class becomes very easy. Then 5 number, what to prove? If a is greater than b and b is less than, then we have to see that a is less than c. Question number 5, a is greater than b and b is less than c. What to prove? A is less than c. Here what is the condition given? A is greater than b. Okay, so a is greater than b. So a minus b is greater than 0. And what is given? B is less than c. Number 1, suppose this is n. B is less than c. Implies b minus c is less than 0. This is number 2. If we add these two, 1 plus 2, sometimes to prove something we must add and sometimes we must multiply. So we add a minus b plus b minus c is less than 0. Implies a minus b plus implies A is less than C. If possible, if we subtract 1 from 2, 1 minus 2, what point? A minus B, this B becomes negative and B becomes positive. Is less than 0. If there A minus B is greater or B minus. Sorry students, this question is wrong. It is greater, it is less. So 1 minus 2 separately. Let A minus B plus C is greater than 0 if possible. Okay? That means if their difference becomes positive, so it is possible. Or A plus C is greater than plus B. Or A is greater than 2SB minus C. So it is false. A is greater than, if we multiply B by 2, okay, both sides, this becomes also twice, okay, and B is less than C, and if we subtract C from 2SB, then what happens? This is only A, not twice A, so twice of B, okay, must be greater than A, okay. So if we subtract this does not becomes greater, so it is false. Okay. Then question number 6. Minus A will be negative if A is positive. A is positive. If possible, something we left, and if we find our assumption is wrong, okay, then it is false. If possible, A is greater than 0. Okay, then 0 minus A is this one, minus A is less than 0. That is 0 minus A is less than 0 plus 0 is less than A. Or you can say minus A is less than 0. We have to show A will be negative minus 0. That means A will be negative, minus A will be negative when A is positive. That means it is negative when A is positive. Okay, it is true. You understand? Which minus a will be negative if a is positive. If a is negative, then minus a will be positive, because negative of negative is always what? Positive. Okay? Negative will be positive if a is negative. Okay. So our class is finished for today.